Yo everybody, what's going on? Here to do my Fairy Tale chapter 716 review. I have to get to work soon, so I'm going to try and make this very quick. So the name of this chapter is called Qinjiao. So we basically already know that this is going to revolve around Qinjiao. And I'm pretty sure we're going to have Luffy getting into the action also. And in which case we do. So we also get an explanation on the Funk Brothers type of fusion. It's not really a fusion, but the younger brother, I honestly can't remember his name. He ate a devil fruit that's called Jack or Jake. I don't know which way it would be, so I'm just gonna call it Jack. He ate a devil fruit, and where he's able to turn himself into a jacket, and whoever wears it, he will be able to control them, including animals and humans and basically anything. So that's a pretty interesting devil fruit. And with that, he was able to pretty much control his brother. So with that, he starts going at one of the Kempo guys. I honestly can't remember all them names. I believe his name was Hasho. So he was going off against him, but in the end they got knocked out. And so now we have Hasho and Ideo. They're going at each other and clashing, and they're beating each other up. They're bloodied up. And so at this point, the announcer and everybody else, they're just like, well, they were just like, man, it's going to be a fight between those two. This is a fight to the death between those two. Nobody else stands a chance. And meanwhile, we have Luffy, who's still without his helmet. He's talking to Gene the Robber, I believe. I believe that was his name. And so he starts throwing knives at Luffy, and he's just saying, thanks to you, I was able to kill a lot of the impaled down prisoners. And so he's saying the ones that he really wants to kill are Crocodile, Ivankov, Buggy, who's now Shichibukai, and Luffy. There were more. Jinbei also. So, and there were a few more. I believe there were a few more he listed, but I don't really remember the names. So he just said he just wants to kill the big shots. He wants to kill the big shots, including Luffy, who is in front of him right now. And he's just throwing knives, but Luffy is using his observation haki to dodge all of them. And he's like, Gene the Robber's just like, shit, man, why can't I hit him? In which case, we see that the knives, he actually stabbed Qinjiao. With all the knives that he threw at Luffy, Luffy dodged all of them, and they ended up stabbing Qinjiao. And so he knocked him out, so that's another contestant out. In which case now, Qinjiao is just saying, Luffy, you're going to atone for your grandfather's sins. He stole my memories of my youth, he stole my fortune, and he just started going on and on about what Garp did to him. So I'm guessing Garp and Qinjiao had a really big past that I would love to see in a flashback sometime in the future chapters. So with that, they start back talking to each other, and then they just like, you know what, fuck this, let's just go right now. And while they're charging, we have, like I said before, we have Ideo and Hasho. They were fighting to death, and everybody's just thinking, wow, Ideo and this guy, they're going to go at each other. Like, these are going to be the last two contestants, but all of a sudden, they start charging each other. Luffy kicks the shit out of the Hasho guy, and Qinjiao just punches the fuck out of Ideo, and both of them are knocked out. And then both of them just put on their armor and haki in their hands, and they just collide at each other. They just go at it. It was pretty freaking awesome, to be honest. And everybody, they're shocked. Everybody in the audience, they're shocked. We all know how Oda likes to do the faces of when people there are shocked. Their faces get rectangular, and their eyes start to pop out of their skulls. Those were the faces that everybody was making when they saw Luffy and Qinjiao knock out the two people who everybody thought was going to be the last contestants. So it's crazy, and it seems that both of them used their Conqueror's haki some point when they were clashing with their Armament haki. So I believe that's where it ends off at. Matter of fact, yeah, that's where it ends off. So, my thoughts on this chapter was that it was pretty freaking awesome. I wasn't feeling the last chapter that came out, but I love this chapter. I love this one. I love this chapter. It was awesome. It was awesome. A lot of action, a lot of dialogue. Well, not too much dialogue, but just the right amount of dialogue to go with all the action. And if I were to rate this on 10 stars, I would give it a solid 8 because I really enjoyed it. So that's pretty much all I got for this chapter. Next week's chapter will be 717, of course. I don't believe that we will get the winner of Block C in next week's chapter. I believe that Oda will probably skip to another scene that's going on, like with Nami, Chopper, and Brook fighting off against that Jola lady. Or maybe we'll go back to the fight with Doflamingo, Law, and Fujitora. Or maybe we'll go to Usaland and Robin as they march their way over to the flower fields. Or maybe we'll just go back to Sanji and Kinemon while they go to the Toys Factory or the Toys House. So, like I said before, that's it for my chapter review. I'll catch you guys next week.